Well, afternoon, fellow zombies. Are we still sleep deprived and emotionally screwed up? Well, I sure as hell know I am. It's 1:36 in the afternoon on a Saturday of the 9th of December 2023. The countdown is still continuing until we get to 2024. We have survived a year, haven't we? Oh, who am I? You had asked a question. The Weaver, John C. of Roseman, California. The Diary of the Griever named John Weaver. Surely you had asked. Anyway, coming across a few articles on YouTube just to see if there was anything else interesting to talk about. And again, there was this topic that popped out that kind of irked me. I know I said something about well, I know I hadn't said something about the abortion situation. And that still concerns me right there. I talked a great deal about that one. Gets to me at times when I'm seeing other things happening that still freak me out a little bit more. This one may get your goat. Got mine. I came across this one a short time ago. Not this week, but within this past month and last month. I think it was passing around like crazy. A military coup in the United States. It's a stretch. It's a stretch on this one here because there's been a report out in the military that's being reported by the Independents on the tube. And one particular independent guy had just posted it and got us link. And it's on military.com. Seeing this stuff is a bit unnerving. Facts and figures concerning about in the military that we still have, and very unusual, but we still have people who are wanting a coup of sorts. We almost had it. Was it back in 2021 when the certification was happening in our beloved capital? Well, we had all the lawmakers out there trying to go through the process, including the vice president of a departing administration, voted out by the public. There was a rally many yards away, and people were willing to walk from one particular area all the way over to the Capitol, storm it, start doing damage. There was loss of life involved. There was a lot of chance about, let's just say that a former vice president who just got voted out was going to be voted out of life. And the implements are outside with the people with the anger and ire. Not to mention wearing the descriptions of how and why. And this is still being in the debate today. Argued about by the same type of people who started this, saying, "Oh, this is just a friendly visit." Yeah, sure, friendly visit. You're knocking against and thumping against and damn near killing people in the process just getting to the Capitol and go storming around and screaming and yelling their damn heads off like crazy. Hollow grounds that when you go in, you're supposed to be keeping yourself respectable. Oh, hell no. Let's be damaging at this point over here, stealing things left and right, getting photographs. No wonder these people are getting their asses kicked by law enforcement. They damn near should. But all because they wanted to stop the steal. Because one particular president didn't like it. He had a taste of power in his mouth and he didn't want to get rid of it. But here's the scary thing. There could have been implements happening at that point where, and this is just an outside idea of mine, and it may be out there, I don't know. I'm not claiming responsibility for this little darling here. But if they actually did have support in the Pentagon, imagine how that would have gone if. I know, this is throwing it out. I have to keep putting out the disclaimers at this point over here, because this is what scares the hell out of me. From some of the stuff I keep coming across, even for the independence guys who are still researching this stuff, and find out we still have people in the Pentagon who still feel not so patriotic. That they are close to feeling this way of doing a coup. I'm reading in between the lines. And I kept thinking, what happens if the forces were used a few years back? It would have been clashing against the Capitol Police, FBI. I'm saying, what if? And that's what scares me. Just to keep a gas bag in power. To think of that is to think we're no better than any other kind of country who is trying to continue its democratic facade and veneer and allowing coups and juntas. I don't want to think of it. I have to think of it. I don't have a choice. I can hear part of myself trying to do an impression of a certain Klingon in a sci-fi show and say, "We must find the enemies!" Yeah. And then what are you going to do with that bat'leth of yours? No, not doing that. Those are contemplating this kind of stuff. It's a scary notion, isn't it? You love peace and freedom that badly, you're willing to overthrow governments to keep someone else in power when they didn't deserve it. Fostered a hell of a lot of ill will, dividing us, deriding, supporting anger and hatred left and right. Hell, done the rest of the country and the rest of the world to hell with it. I'm in power. I'm in charge. I'm going to be king of the world. I'm going to be king of the universe. Nothing going to stop me from having my name out there, my generations. This is what scares the hell out of me when taste of power goes to people's heads. I'd seen it in a representative who spent 20 years of his career chasing after it, trying to maneuver one way or another just to get to that coveted seat. And when he did, it was a holy hell for him for that year being in power because all the compromises he made, and then he gets his ass torn apart by the same forces he made a deal with, and they didn't like the way he was keeping deals, so they got rid of his ass because he put in that clause. He kissed too many damn asses, and now he's out. He wants more money, more power. He's going to be angling at this point over here. He wasn't serving the public. He wasn't serving his country. He was serving himself and a gas bag. And people like him. But people didn't like this guy. They got rid of him. And how about a little junior leaguer that came in there, lying, cheating, and stealing his way in? Constituents didn't like it, but they voted his ass anyway because he conned them like crazy. And then when they found out about it, when people found out about it and started exposing him, he cried like a little baby to everybody. And he storms off like a little baby when they tossed his ass out of Congress. And now he's trying to plot for revenge. I know what you all did. Now I'm going to get revenge. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. How does that grab you? That's what he's going to do as well. That's what he's doing. My county, my state has to suffer through that shit. We have to have a special election to vote in and then wait for the regular elections to get a representative in to represent my county of Kern in California. That doesn't tell you who the representative is. The people who want power and crave it that badly. They don't care about history. They'll remake their own history. They don't want to know about history. They don't want to learn about it. They don't want to deal with it, period. Because that interferes with their process and their goal for power. They want it that badly. They're willing to sacrifice everything, including their own souls, for it. And everybody else in the same bloody mess. This is what scares the hell out of me. So coming across that report and coming across that story again, I have yet to read it. I'm listening to other people trying to interpret it, what the hell it is. It still scares the shit out of me. Because 247 years that we have, coming up on 248 next year. I was born in the year of 66. 1976, I was 10 years old. We had 200 years when I turned 10. When I was just born, we had 260. No, not 260. We had 190. I'm not exactly a Yankee Doodle dandy, but I was born in 66. Year of love child, year of the land of innocence that gone hell in a handbasket. In time of hell in a handbasket. Which wasn't. Which year wasn't, actually. But 10 years old, seeing the country turning 200 years. I'm still reeling over this. Because this is driving me nuts. I'm looking at how we are trying to deal and survive right now as it is. As a country. We're going to be putting 250 in the next couple of years. 250 years of its existence. And yet we are going to throw that shit away. Because a lot of people swore an oath, not to the Constitution, but to an orange gas bag. A gaslighter. And the people who followed him. Doesn't matter what kind of mode of operation they're slithering across the landscape, but that's what they are. They slither. That'd be belonging to that fictional Slytherin. People want it because they want to be close to that power. It's like moths being drawn to a flame or to a bug light. How long can they resist the temptation before they get zapped? Before they get burned? But it's so tempting with that light. We must be towards this light. We must be part of this light. We must be, and then you're torched. Or else we see our country go up in flames at this point over here. And then we see everything else going hell in a handbasket. I know the prices are going up, and that's a market situation. Presidents don't have the control over this damn thing, but they can try to make an influence one way or another. Everybody blames the leader. They don't blame markets. Sometimes supplies and demands. Sometimes the manufacturers are having issues with their own We have markets on the capitalism and the Wall Street and stuff affecting prices. People understand that in your market-based environment, you're subject to the whims of forces beyond your control. What's scary enough is when you start fighting over items left and right. They become scarcer and scarcer, more precious. More demand, less supply, and then all hell breaks loose. Longer lines for bread, for diapers, for toilet paper, for paper towels, for milk and eggs and meat. Conditions happen when there's diseases out there changing our food supplies around, our environmental hypocrisy that we have, screwing us over one way or another. Karma's got a bitch on this one. Throw the damn boomerang. You think it's going to be tossing straight? No. Comes back and hits you upside the head. Everything goes around, comes around. So if we actually have a coup and a junta, who's going to be trying to survive? Well, the elitists, because they're going to be crumbed up like rats. Climb up that damn pyramid until they get to the top, and then they're trying to kill each other just to stay on the top. Rats on a sinking ship. They don't want to drown. They don't want to cling on anything else surrounding for survival at this point. A 50-50 chance they might survive on that damn thing, but they're trying to climb up on each other as a ladder. Doesn't work that way. They all drown. The weight of it all sinks them down. Nice, interesting metaphors, huh? Think of our democracy system like that, our democratic system. Every so often, I keep referring it to Aristotle because some of the principles I keep running across every so often. Gutenberg.com and archive.org would have some information, downloadable information, about Aristotle and how he looked at politics. He's got essays. He's got a lot of things for people to drive themselves crazy with. It's called words. It's called logic. It's called ideas. It's called stuff that'll make their brain cells explode. Or maybe stabilized enough where they're understanding what the hell is going on. But I guess people don't have time for reading. They only got time for bitching and griping at each other and trying to climb up that proverbial ladder. What happens if somebody actually starts burning that damn ladder while you're on it? Ooh, toasty. We got all these damn rats trying to scrabble up. Scramble, scrubble, claw, gnash, weep, and then fry crispy critters. Freaked out about the metaphors? Keep those in your head. Because if what I think may or will happen, we're going to be seeing almost a real thing. Having our country destroyed one way or another. Peace, freedom, love, bullshit. Rats in a sinking ship. I'm watching a whole country go down in flames. We get torpedoed, not by the quote-unquote enemy. The enemy is ourselves. A nice stable ship on an ocean. Ocean of uncertainty. In our democracy, our ship called the democracy, the USS Constitution, floating on the sea, trying to deal with everything else, with every other navigational hazard. Our politics, dealing with people left and right, events, stuff from our own things that we're doing to it. And then, somehow or another, in our drive to continue this manifest destiny of ours, that we have to keep going forward, always forward, something happens to the damned hill, breaks the rudder. Something happens in the engine room. Whoops, there goes propulsion. And now we get hull breaches underneath the hull of our beloved ship, our beloved country, our ideas, our idealism right there. And then we get real life pouring right through the damn hole. We holed ourselves and didn't even realize it. Whatever we did inside for power and control, we just crippled us to the point where we're slowly sinking. Maybe we'll sink slower than the Titanic in the Atlantic Ocean. But no, our idealism, our maiden voyage, our 247 year coming up, or 48 coming up, across the waters, trying to show people how our magnificent vessel survives. They were saying the same damn thing about the Titanic when they actually had the iceberg haul the damn thing. And what happened to the Titanic? Scattered across the Atlantic. So imagine our country being like that, the Titanic. We put so much emphasis in this magnificent structure of ours, it's become the USS Rust-Oleum. Engines still have to be replaced, but never had. The tillers still have to be reworked. Our country still needs to be dry docked just to keep the repairs going. But if we don't ever take care of the ship, who's to say that our own efforts inside our country are not going to take this ship and hull the damn thing? We don't need any enemies from any outside torpedoing us. We can do the same job ourselves. Have a nice insurrection aboard the ship, try to burn a few things left and right, have a rowdy party, and then watch the whole ship go bloop, 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 sinking into the bottomless abyss, never coming up again. Hell of a thing to think about, isn't it? Good, continue. Continue to think about it. Keep this in mind when you start voting people in office. Make absolutely freaking sure you know about this candidate. That they're not going to be out there to backstab your ass left and right, or anybody else for that matter. That they're out there to support the country, the idealism, and not out for themselves. Because if they're out for themselves, blue, 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 blue. As I said before in my earlier videos, I had blamed voters, and I still do. Capitalism, our democracy, our republicanism, our republic, this representative republic, this representative democracy, however they want to reword it, this word salad, as one asshole said in Congress. He didn't like the explanation of someone, so he called it a word salad. Well, the guy is a word salad anyway. But they're all out to sink the ship. They're all out to sink democracy. What our idealism concerning what our country is supposed to be, what it's supposed to be founded as, this unmade or unfinished pyramid is supposed to be an idea or an idealism of what our country is still trying to develop into. If we actually did have everything else cemented, then we were finished. We're supposed to be unfinished. Well, I'm still waiting for the hull to get reconditioned. I'm waiting for the ship to get patched up and continue sailing. I'm still waiting for us not to sink this damn idealism we have right now called a country. I'm still waiting for a Titanic to happen. Done by our own damn hands. I'm waiting for us to sink our own damn ships because we were too stupid enough to listen to these people who wanted to sink the ship in the first place, but told us they won't. It's a fine ship. We just need to modify it on the seas. Blah, 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 blah. You want to protect America? You want to protect freedom? Then start acting like the damn thing in the first place. You got to know what the hell you're doing at this point over here. Armed coups don't work it. You want to deal with the Congress? Deal with the congressmen. Deal with your elected officials. Keep them pinned down idealistically when you're telling them what you need in your districts, what you need for this country. Be ready for open debates. Be ready for discussions. If somebody's going to be challenging you on the street and saying, I don't like this thing that you're promoting, then prepare to have an open debate right then and there. Make sure that you know what the hell you're talking about. And say, are you going to be running for candidate for this office? Well, no, but I think. Well, then tell your thinking over to the Congress people. To the people you put it. Well, no, I want to argue with you because you've got no other place to go besides arguing with me at a guy in the street. You bring it up to Congress. You bring it up to your elected officials. You tell them what's going on. Or else you run for the damn office. You run for the damn office. And then you better know what the hell you're talking about. America is a fight. America is a constant struggle. For physical, emotional, possibly spiritual, maybe at times. It's an idea. It's an ideal that drives people over to this particular landmass. This particular section of country that we have that we keep threatening to put up walls to keep others out because we're too damn afraid to deal with the outside coming in. How did you think the Native Americans felt when they saw Europe coming? They had no idea what to expect. Until centuries later, they're scratching their heads saying, I wish to God we hadn't allowed Europe in, or anybody else for that matter. Our landmass was screwed up already as it is. Now we got to deal with these assholes. And the generations after that, and the generations after that. This manifest destiny. But they have to roll with it. Despite all the damn crap we did to them, unfortunately. I wish to God we hadn't. But no, with our own damn arrogance and our own ego and our own megalomania minds, we had to spread out. We had to conquer. Unfortunately, it's part of our genetics. We can never get past. So yeah, coups are there because people want to expand their own damn megalomania, their own ego, their own power trip. And take an idea, an ideal that people kept coming across into this country, no matter which particular border it is. Not just the southern border. We have to protect the southern border. They're coming across the northern border as well through Canada. Not to mention through the waters on our coastlines. Do we need to wall things up now? Live in a wall, live in a dome? Well, that's a nice thing right there. How about we just make a dome for ourselves? See the shining sea from coast to coast, from landmass to landmass. The country makes this whole damn dome. We can cook ourselves to death. We can freeze ourselves to death. We can suffocate in there with all the crap we keep doing. And we can also kill each other in there. How about that? Mad Max in the Iron Dome. Blue, 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 blue. I'm waiting for a gigantic sinkhole just to sink us all. One we never get out of. And it's coming. Because we're allowing it. We think we know better. We don't know any better. If we did, we wouldn't allow the blue, 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 blue. We keep rereading the old texts, but unfortunately some people don't know how to read or don't understand a damn thing or both. I have to keep teaching them. And that even includes the adults. The ones who keep thinking that they know better, but they don't. They'll keep talking about the holy text, that we have to keep doing the holy text here. Read the damn holy text and understand what the hell you're talking about instead of trying to misidentifying yourself as one particular person when you're actually a two-faced liar. I called you on it. Me, I'm a fool and a hypocrite. Or actually a fool and an idiot, but that goes close. Starts with an I. So it's an idiot. Hypocrite? H-I. Okay. Full and idiotic hypocrite? Would that work for me? I guess so. I'm a full and idiotic hypocrite who's a libtard, who's celebrating wokeism. How does that grab you? At least I'm the schmuck getting on a dinghy trying to get the hell away from all you assholes who are sinking the ship. If I can carry the copy of the Constitution and Declaration of Independence and every important work with me, at least I'll be preserving it and surviving it. I may drown in the waters myself, but at least I'm not dealing with the rest of the rats. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to see what's happening in the engine room and also with the tiller. Are we still able to steer this monster? Are we going to be getting any more hull breaches? Have to go into the voids. Go into the second hull, between the second hulls. How many hulls do we have in this particular ship? Do we have a single hull? Ooh, we're dead. How's the bulkheads? The ones that are supposed to stop the flood of all the insanity going through. Did we blow them off their hinges? I guess the lower half of the ship's going to be sinking. Bloop, 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 bloop. Think about it.